Hello, I'm Scott Blokey here with Mackenzie Stiller, ahead of her LFA 217 fight against Cristina Brador. How are you doing today? And how are you feeling ahead of this upcoming fight?
Feeling good, confident, healthy. Yeah, just everything you want to feel before a fight.
Exactly. And you are fighting on that LFA card after your second round submission victory last time. How did you feel that fight went for you?
Um, I feel like it went well. I mean, of course, there's things I could have
Yeah.
done better with, but for the most part, we stuck to the game plan, and that's what got us the victory.
And what do you feel the main differences are coming into this fight compared to your last opponent?
Well, the biggest thing will probably be reach. Like my last opponent was my height and like
Yeah.
about the same reach. Cristina Brador is like 5'6", I think. So, and also her reach is a few inches or more longer than mine. But if I stick to this game plan, reach won't really matter.
And you have made a decision to come back to strawweight. I know you did that in your last fight. What made your decision to go back to strawweight from the flyweight division?
Um, so I'm just a little too small for flyweight. Like these women cut like 20, 30 pounds. They walk around at like 150. And I think it's just better for straw weight. Maybe if we were like one championship out here and followed the hydration and weight percentage rule, it would be different.
So do you feel like that hydration rule at one should should be implemented elsewhere, or do you feel like it's fine the way it is just now?
I think they should implement it just like one championship does with hydration because that keeps fighters from cutting way too much weight. And if it were like that, I would fight at 125 instead of 115.
And once, what do you feel like your biggest strength is in this fight?
Um, Probably my pressure. Pressure is probably the biggest strength.
And you do come from that judo kind of background. How big do you feel like Kayla Harrison is in being able to kind of push that type of style of fights? I know you did have Ronda Rousey, you now have Kayla. How big do you feel like they have been in implementing that style?
I think they did a great job. Ronda Rousey did a great job, but she had a harder time mixing it up, which it
Yeah.
is hard to do both. But Kayla Harrison is the evolved version where she is getting better with her stand up. So she can implement her judo game a lot better with those other strikes incorporated.
And you are currently on the brink of a UFC call up potentially. But if you get this victory, you would be a 5-1 strawweight. How far do you feel like you are from getting that call?
Um, I don't think we're very far at all. I mean, of course, I'm just going to be happy with the way
Yeah.
things go, depending. But I think it after if we put on a dominant performance this fight again, just like the last one, I think it'll be either title contention or possibly a phone call.
And do you feel like the UFC could have done more for women's MMA in terms of with the contender series? I think it's like only one or two fights on the season so far announced have been women's MMA. Do you feel like there should have been a bit more in terms of women fighters on that series?
Um, I don't really follow contenders that much, but I guess they could have done better, but they're gonna put on the shows or fights, whatever, that make most money.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's also fair. I understand the business aspect of it.
And your currently division in the UFC has been wide open just now. You have Whaley's vacating her belt, moving over, and now you have got that title. That title has been announced. What do you make of the UFC strawweight division?
I think that competition only gets tougher when it's like top 15. Like you need to prove yourself to the other women who are not top 15, but once you get there, you can maybe renegotiate your contract and for a very good reason because like I said, the competition does get stiffer the top 15, especially in the top 10 is when you really is really good.
And is there anyone in that top 15 just now that you would like to have a fight with in the future?
I honestly don't know who's in the top 15. I don't watch fights that much, surprisingly. I just like training it. I mean, I'd still watch them here and there, but
Yeah.
I don't make a point to watch them unless it's like sometimes a woman who is in my division I watch, but I don't know who's in top 15. I'll fight any of them.
That's a great attitude to have. And do you feel like what are you gonna do after the fight, after you get the victory? What are you doing to celebrate this?
Um, Good food. That's the main thing. Just good food. I mean, drinks is cool and all, but I really like food.
Any
So that
Pacific type?
honestly, I'm not picky at all, but if there's like a pizza joint, like a good one, I'd do some pizza. But let's say because a lot of times everything's closed, like Denny's
Yeah.
is fine.
And you're also fighting with LFA, which has been known to be a big, major organization to get into the UFC. Was that one of your kind of points for going into the LFA when they gave you that first contract?
I'm sorry, what? I
So
couldn't hear.
LFA is one of the biggest organizations to making that next step to the UFC. Was that one of the major things that brought you to them?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a big reason to get in UFC, but also the biggest reason was they had strawweight division and the PFL does not have that. But I think LFA is a great promotion. They take care of the fighters. It goes to the UFC, has a division. I just we just go where the best opportunities are presented.
So the when the Belldoor obviously folded and it got retaken over by the PFL, did they try to keep you on the PFL like roster?
Um they So they didn't try keeping us there, but they let us know if we ever like want to try coming back again that I'll have a good chance of being there again. Just we just asked for the release of the contract because they have not been fighting anyone. Like they
Yeah.
don't keep their fighters very active, and we need to be active.
And do you feel like them being able to allow you to explore the other opportunities, it's kind of helped you kind of grow, whereas you have had fighters in the Bellator that have struggled to get out their contracts.
Yes, I think that's they were very generous with how they let us go, and I think it did present better opportunities just, just because the weight class thing,
Yeah.
that's the main reason.
So obviously you are in the strawweight division. Are you just looking just to stay there the full time, unless like the hydration rule does get put in place?
So I do plan on staying at strawweight if the rules stay like it is now, but if the hydration comes in place, I would probably have to move up to 125. And also the other women who fight at 125 will probably have to fight at bantamweight because they do cut a lot of
Yeah.
weight.
And what was it that kind of brought you into the sport?
So I've been doing judo, jujitsu, and wrestling since I was like 8 years old. So there's that. But also when I met my boyfriend Juan Riasendez, he was big into the MMA world. He was really interested in it. And when he met me, he just basically had me come to some practices, meet the coach, and it's I just liked it since then.
And does it kind of help your training knowing that you're both in that together?
Yes, that does help tremendously because there's nothing worse than having a partner who
Yeah.
isn't all locked in and with it with you. Like usually if partners are not on the same page as you, they wonder why you're gone so much, wonder why you have to stay locked in. They bring food into the house, drinks in the house that aren't for that lifestyle. And just having someone here locked in with me helps tremendously. He also gives me like sessions and work in on the side, so that also helps a lot.
And like you're saying, you do come from that judoish kind of background, that's jiu-jitsu. Do you kind of keep up with that in the background in between fights, kind of go to these competitions?
Oh, yeah. When I am allowed to, I usually have to ask permission when you sign a contract, of course,
Yeah.
but if you give them enough notice and stuff and you don't have a fight lined up, they'll usually say yes. So I try doing that as much as I can on the side.
And how good is that just for development, just to keep the competitive spirit in you just going?
I think it's better because it keeps that dog inside of you
Yeah.
alive, so you don't get uh stuck being complacent, and having to crawl yourself out of being undisciplined or whatever. So it keeps you on track, I think.
And do you feel like one of the major factors in this fight coming up is that experience that you've had in of the some of the biggest organizations like Bellator?
The I'm sorry, what?
Like the
Sorry.
experience that you've had in Bellator, being able to fight some of the best fighters that is in the world. Do you feel like that experience will be able to help you in this fight?
Oh, yes. I think that experience does help because I don't know, because they're just better. I mean, I'm not saying they're better than the women in LFA,
Oh,
but
yeah,
like there are handfuls who are better. I've gone against better opponents with Bellator and PFL, like Samiko Inaba. She just went
yeah.
all
5 rounds
rounds
with Dakota.
with yeah, with Dakota, and that's very impressive. So that makes me feel still proud, even though I lost. Like she was tough, and I understand that.
And how have you found getting the opportunity to fight? Because speaking to women in the sport, it seems like the opportunity is limited, either through limited opportunity from fight contracts or people not wanting to fight and just protect their record. How have you found trying to get fights?
There have been not troubles, but we've gone through some things where like before this fight, we had like 4 or 5 girls say no before
Yeah,
Cristina Brador stepped up. Thank uh thank you to her for stepping up. And yeah, I mean they just because a lot of them don't have like powerful ground, and I think that's the main reason. Like they're all mainly kickboxers, and just like you said, they want to protect their record because they're trying to get into the UFC.
yeah.
So I could understand, but if you're really there to fight, you should want to prove yourself.
And I
To
guess this is the time to be able to take these fights and be able to test yourself in the areas that you may be weaker in, and then you can improve. If it doesn't go your way, you can learn, improve, and prepare for when you do get to that next level.
yes, exactly. That definitely helps. I know that I learned and grew from my last loss because
Yeah,
if I didn't have that loss, I probably wouldn't have had some of the perspectives I have now being in the
exactly.
cage. So that's why I'm grateful for it.
And how big do you feel like organizations are for like Invicta and Combat Global? They had an all-female card, being able to try to bring the more lighting into women's MMA.
I think those are great. I mean, you'll definitely get more people to say yes to you if it's all female cards. But I think that's pretty cool, like what they're doing, because I think they're also feeder promotions to the UFC as
Yeah.
well. So I think it's good that there's all women promotions. You know, it gives us a little I don't know how to say it, but it's different. It's good to get more eyes on more women to get better talent into the UFC.
And do you feel like that would be something that obviously LFA that you're currently focusing just now, but if that opportunity was to arise, would you accept it?
If they present better opportunity, yes, but I do strongly believe that LFA is the better promotion to go to
Yeah.
if you want to go to UFC.
Yeah. And do you feel like that part of that is just the fact that they're not just going to give you that can to just pad your record like we were talking about earlier? They are going to give you these tough fights.
Yeah, they well we kind of have no choice anyways because the girls who are saying no are like the lesser, not trying to sound condescending, but they're the lesser they're it's easier to win those fights with them, but the girls who say yes are the tougher fights, and those are the fights you want to get into the UFC or bigger promotions because that's what they look at. They look at
Yeah.
opponent and how good they are and how you did.
And if you had to give yourself a prediction for this fight, what would that be?
Um, Without going too much into it, I think we're gonna come out with the win. I think my pressure is gonna do good, and then we just go to the ground and do our thing. Even if it doesn't go to the ground, I think we still got it secured.
Exactly. and you guys will definitely want to tune in. It's going to be a fantastic fight, and it's going to be a great card whatsoever. Is there anything else you would like to add, or anyone you want to shout out?
Um, well, since I don't have a listener from me, it's gonna be vague, but I want to shout out my sponsors who are with me. Also my teammates, coaches, of course, iron sharpens iron. Um, and my boyfriend really is a big help in everything I do. Like he makes things so much easier for fight camp, not fight camp, just in general. I'm just very grateful for him and everyone who's supporting me, like family, teammates, coaches, like I said. Yeah, that's it.
Exactly. And it's going to be a great fight. You guys will not want to miss out. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.